Ash Ketchum, you better watch your friggin' self, because this is the badass region. Wait, what am I doing? This is my top 5 Hoenn Pokemon. Seriously, I still love you though. Mwah! Number 5. Claydol. Again, playing to that obscure looking Pokemon that I am just fascinated by. Claydol is again a very obscure Pokemon. What he's based on is obscure, his design is obscure, but I love it so much. I mean, his dark colors, the fact that he has 7 big eyes, and plus even his type is very obscure. He's a psychic and a ground type. Now, when you think of something to combine with that, what do you think of, aside from Claydol? I can't think of anything, but still, I mean, the fact that he has these detachable arm things that aren't even really arms, and just his overall appearance and all is just obscure, but I love it for some reason. I don't know why. He's like the psychic type that I have to have. And though the ground type does play against him and with him, because it plays with him because psychic types don't usually have great defensive power, and Claydol does. However, being a ground type makes him weak to water types, and that is a bummer. But, like I said, he's the psychic type that I have to have. Number 4. Shedinja. This Pokemon, granted, he's part of a double evolution, so to speak, because he comes from the same basic form. But if I had to choose between Ninjask and Shedinja, I'd have to go with Shedinja. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Ninjask. He's cool. But I love Shedinja mainly because, for one, he's a bug and a ghost type, which I think is an interesting combination. And he's the only Pokemon who knows Wonder Guard. I'm serious. You can look up all 718 Pokemon. He is the only one who has Wonder Guard. 708? Yeah, 718. And only one has that ability. If you have that and you can get rid of your opponent's Pokemon who have super effective moves on him, and then you throw him out, you pretty much have won the battle. Because if you can't defeat Shedinja with any of your Pokemon, then you've already lost. Granted, though, I do not see why Wonder Guard doesn't work against things like Sandstorm and Hail. That makes no sense whatsoever. Number 3. Agwaan. Honestly, out of all the steel types, this guy just looks like a friggin' badass. And he is. He is a powerhouse. I mean, not only is he a steel and rock, giving him great offense and defense, but just look at this guy's design. It's like if the Terminator met a T-Rex and they just built that. They gave him horns. That's what I think of when I think of Agwaan. He is just a badass powerhouse. And plus, I love his evolutionary family. Little Ron has just this little mask and big blue eyes. And then Larion, he looks like this multi-plated lizard. And then we get Agwaan. Jeez. Oh, and don't even get me started on his Mega Evolution. That thing is just a beast. Moving on. Number 2. Blaziken. There is no way you can do a top 5 or top 10 list and not put Blaziken in the Hoenn region. Because, I mean, the whole premise of this guy is just badass. Well, granted, the idea of a flaming chicken is not really badass, but the But the final delivery is, I mean, just look at this guy. I still have a hard time believing he was based off of a rooster for cockfights and just given the element of fire. But no, that's legitimately what he's based off of. And he also has a Mega Evolution, and the fact that he can jump over miles and was the original developer of the move Blaze Kick, this guy has badass written all over him. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, if he's such a badass, why is he number 2? Well, my number 1 favorite Hoenn Pokemon is Swampert. Now, I'm usually torn between him and Blaziken, because I love both of those guys so much. And I'm still torn today. But when I get down to it, and I really try to juggle the two, Swampert is more of the Pokemon for me. And not just because he's a water type either. It's also because he's doubled with ground type, giving the middle finger to electric type Pokemon. Plus, he is a powerhouse, having a great special attack and regular attack. Plus, it even says in his Pokedex description that this guy can tow ships on his back. And I honestly believe if I was to suddenly turn into a Pokemon, this is who I would turn into. Swampert. And how do I deduce that? Well, ever since I saw Pokemon Y, I mean, just, this guy has so many things that are like me. The way he cranes his neck, his swimming style, and heck, I can even sound like the guy. Like, Swampert. He and I are pretty much one and the same, almost. So, yeah, that's why he gets my number 1 spot. And that wraps up the Hoenn region. Next time we move on to the Sinnoh region, which, to most people, was a real turning point for Pokemon. So, until next time, this is Epic Derpy and Flareon saying Herpaderp.